Hello, I'm Adam Conklin, and I am currently a graduate student at American Military University, enrolled in Environmental Ethics, Summer Session B, 2024. Today I will be giving a short presentation focusing on U.S. policies pertaining to biotechnology. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with the topic, or maybe just want a quick refresher, I'll go ahead and just do that really quickly. So the idea of biotechnology may seem like a new idea, but it's relatively old, dating back to more than 6,000 years ago. And most of it you probably don't even associate with biotechnology. Take, for example, if any of you have dogs, the domestication of animals falls under biotechnology. Selective breeding of certain crops. I'm sure we've all seen those pictures of the corn from when it was just one strand to the corn that we see today in supermarkets. Believe it or not, fermentation is also a form of biotechnology. So I guess if you have a glass, you can raise cheers to biotechnology, I guess. That said, over the years, biotechnology has enabled massive advances in several different disciplines, revolutionizing fields like agriculture and even medicine. The reason I selected the topic of biotechnology for this project is I believe that there are few subjects that really highlight the intersection between policy, science, and ethics better than biotechnology. Simply defined as using organisms and their parts for products and services, biotechnology has began to walk a fine line between human ingenuity and maybe playing God. With the power to gene edit, we can cure diseases once thought uncurable, like cancer or diabetes. We can create pest-resistant crops that could not only yield more, but also provide a higher nutritional value, ultimately making things like world hunger a thing of the past. Maybe my favorite use, to bring back species from extinction, like the woolly mammoth or the dodo bird. We've already seen companies like Colossal Bioscience already take steps in that direction. But as the old saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility, and therefore we see certain laws and agencies set in place to kind of draw some sort of line to not only protect ourselves, but the integrity of the planet. So for the sake of this project, we'll be discussing 4 federal laws: the Plant Protection Act, the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, the National Environmental Policy Act, and the 21st Century Cures Act. While these 4 laws may have not been written with biotechnology in mind, they've either been amended over the years to include biotechnology or GMOs, or they have some sort of relevancy to the topic of diversity. That said, let's take a look at some of the laws. Under the USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, APHIS, the Plant Protection Act was signed into law on June 20th, 2000. It was established with the immense goal of protecting the U.S.'s agriculture. Its primary goal of preventing plant pests that could wreak havoc on ecosystems. Under this act, genetically modified plants are considered pests until determined otherwise. And the reason for this is because sometimes genetically engineered plants are either disease or pest resistant, or they're just new to an environment and we don't know how the environment's going to react yet. For example, BT corn, a genetically modified corn, while pest resistant, had an adverse effect on the non-target species. This was monarch butterflies, and it kind of already crippled a already declining population. Ultimately, the USDA's cautious approach is a way of kind of bridging agricultural innovation with environmental protection. The next law we'll take a look at is the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, passed by Congress in 1938. The goal was to ensure public health and safety by regulating the quality and safety of products consumed by the public. Well, this law didn't originally have biotechnology in it. The sections were later amended, particularly Section 301, to include GMOs. Today, the FDA ensures that all foods that are GMOs or contain GMO ingredients meet the same rigorous standards as those that do not. That said, there are still many controversies surrounding the use of genetically modified foods. So I guess the big question is, are they safe? So the research that I did all point to GMOs being safe for human consumption, though some of the long-term studies haven't been completed or certain products haven't been completed. Moving right along, in 1969, the National Environmental Policy Act was implemented, with the Council of Environmental Quality overseeing operations and the agencies like the EPA playing major roles in its implementation. The goal was to identify potential environmental effects of actions before taking them. We've seen today and is commonly seen in environmental impact statements and assessments. When it comes to the medical field, the ethical debate is still kind of ongoing. That said, it's hard to ignore the benefits of biotechnology in this discipline. For that reason, in December of 2016, the 21st Century Cures Act was signed into law. With the FDA overseeing operations, the aim was to accelerate medical developments. Advancements in biotechnology have made this more possible than ever. Many feel that it may be endangering public health by weakening the FDA standards. That said, it's kind of hard to argue with the results, with many medicines hitting the shelves of pharmacies, seeming to be quite effective. In the end, the human species is seemingly the only one to gain from developments in biotechnology. Yet, while reflecting on this anthropocentric view, it takes more of a biocentric and ecocentric approach, as seen in policies like the Plant Protection Act or the National Environmental Protection Act. That said, I don't see advancements in biotechnology seeming to slow down, and therefore it seems like it's becoming more and more important for us to develop policies and amendments to existing policies and maybe more agencies to perform this kind of balancing act between fostering innovation and environmental protection. Right, and that brings us to the conclusion of this project. Hopefully this project provided a deeper understanding for biotechnology in U.S. policy. If you would like to look at some of the references, hopefully you can see them. And with that, that concludes my project.